Fixed my old HC8 hat. But that's not what this video is about. Today's question is, what did Jesus look like? And on the surface, it sounds like a trivial question. On the one hand, I've said, well, why does it matter what Jesus looks like? You know, Jesus, the goal of believing in Jesus and being a Christian has very little to do with what Jesus looked like. But on the other hand, if you are a believer in Jesus and you believe he was the Son of God who came down and was a real man, and as influential as he was, you would think that somebody, one of his followers, one of his fans, so to speak, would have made like a drawing of him, a bust of him, of his likeness. There would have been something with his likeness on it. Now, I'm sure there's stuff out there on the internet I purposely didn't research just to give my own unbiased thoughts on it, and then I'll probably go do some research on it. But I want to put this out there to you. And I saw a video, not a video, like a History Channel or Discovery Channel show on what Jesus might have looked like. And their premise is that, well, he was born in Galilee, or he was born in Bethlehem, but he was a Galilean. And so the show took a skull from a Galilean of that era and did like forensic reconstruction. You know how they put the clay on the skull and they reconstruct what the person might have looked like, kind of like with like murder mysteries. And they showed an average looking. How do they determine what this dude could have been the ugliest man, or he could have been a celebrity? I don't know. And they reconstructed the skull, and and he was just an average looking person. And that might very well have been, but the images that that depicts what Jesus looks like, the beard and the long hair and the friendly, brotherly looking face, he might have looked like that. But I think those pictures have more of a Western influence than than what Jesus would actually look like. And I get it. It's just a representation for people to kind of focus on. Kind of like one of the things that I learned on the Ten Commandment hikes with the Scouts, in that back then a lot of people were illiterate and they didn't, and books weren't exactly available to the masses. So when when the preachers would talk about things, they would point to these pictures. It's like, Mary or Joseph or Jesus or whoever. They had these pictures. They called them icons. And there's debate on whether those are quote unquote graven images or not. But that's a different video. That's a different day. But today's question is, what do you think about the depictions of what Jesus looks like now? I don't believe that's what Jesus looks like for real. But when I pray, when I think about Jesus, that image comes to mind because it's so prevalent. But it does kind of spark the question, why don't we have images of Jesus? Is that by design? Is the reason because you know, Jesus and God can do all things, and they didn't want that to be the focus of their teachings. They didn't want that to be the focus of the purpose Jesus came to earth. You know, there are saints, or you know, like the emperor. And now, not to say that at his time in popularity that he was more important than, you know, Caesar or Pontius Pilate, but you know, even like Cleopatra and them, they had busts made of them, so there's likenesses. Did the likenesses of Jesus, were they destroyed on purpose by, you know, by the Pharisees? I don't know. Maybe it was illegal. Maybe just like when Peter denied knowing Jesus, maybe that was the fear at the time that, oh, you know, if I have a likeness of Jesus, I'm going to be persecuted. So I'm not going to have a likeness of Jesus in my house. So that's kind of my talk and my question for the day. What do you think Jesus looks like? And yeah, leave them in the comments below. And have a blessed day. Take care. See you later.